we are in Joseph Smith history, and we're doing by restoring his gospel. The Savior fulfilled ancient prophecies. When Moroni appeared to Joseph Smith, he quoted several Old Testament prophecies, such as Isaiah 11, Acts 3:22 through 23, and Joel. As you read Joseph Smith history, think about why these prophecies might have been important for Joseph to know, and why are they important for you to know. So what we're going to do today is our subject matter. We're just going to go straight into Joseph Smith history, 34 through 47. So there's quite a bit in here to read, but some of it will be familiar. Sorry about going so fast, but it doesn't take you right to where you need it. So this is Angel Moroni speaking to Joseph Smith. He said there was a book deposited written upon gold plates giving an account of the former inhabitants of this continent and the source from whence they sprang. He also said the fullness of the everlasting gospel was contained in it, as delivered by the Savior to the ancient inhabitants. Also, that there were 2 stones and in silver bowls. These stones fastened to a breastplate constituted what is called the Urim and Thummim. Deposited with the plates and the possession and use of these stones were what constituted seers in ancient or former times, and that God had prepared them for the purpose of translating the book. After telling me these things, he commenced quoting prophecies of the Old Testament. He first quoted the 3rd chapter of Malachi, and he quoted also the 4th or last verse of the same prophecy. So let's go to Malachi. So I've come straight here so that we can look at what he's saying. Behold, I will send my messenger, and he shall prepare a way before me, and the Lord whom ye seek. For me. And the Lord whom ye shall seek shall suddenly come to his temple, even the messenger of the covenant whom ye delight in. Behold, he shall come, saith the Lord of hosts. But who may abide the day of his coming, and who shall stand when he appeareth? For he is like a refiner's fire, and like a fuller's soap. And he shall sit as a refiner and a purifier of silver, and he shall purify the sons of Levi, and purge them as gold and silver, that they may offer unto the Lord an offering in righteousness. Then shall the offering of Judah and Jerusalem be pleasant unto the Lord, as in the days of old, as in former years. And I will come near to you to judgment, and I will be a swift witness against the sorcerers, and against adulterers and false swearers, and against those that oppress the hirelings in his wages, and the widow and the fatherless, that turn aside the stranger from his right, and fear not me, saith the Lord of hosts. For I am the Lord, I change not, therefore ye sons of Jacob are not consumed. Even from the days of your fathers ye are gone away from mine ordinances, and have not kept them. Return unto me, and I will return unto you, saith the Lord. But ye say, wherein shall we return? Will a man rob God? Yet ye have robbed me, saith. But ye say, Wherein have we robbed thee? In tithes and offerings. Ye are cursed with a curse, for ye have robbed me, even this whole nation. Bring ye the tithes into the storehouse, that there may be meat in the house, and prove me herewith, saith the Lord of hosts, if I will not open the windows of heaven, and pour a blessing, that there shall be not room enough to receive it. I will rebuke the devourer for your sake, and he shall not destroy the fruits of your ground, neither shall your vine cast their fruit before the time in the field, saith the Lord of hosts. And all nations shall call you blessed, for ye shall be a delightsome land, saith the Lord of hosts. And your words have been stout against me, saith the Lord. Yet ye say, What have we spoken against thee? Ye have said, It is vain to serve God, and what profit is it that we've kept his ordinance, and that we have walked mournfully before the Lord of hosts? And now we call the proud happy, yea, they that tempt God are even delivered. Then they that feared the Lord spake often one to another, and the Lord hearkened and heard it. And a book of remembrance was written before him for them that feared the Lord, and thought upon his name. And they shall be mine, saith the Lord of hosts, in that day, when I make my jewels, and I will spare them, as a man spareth his own son that serveth him. When ye shall return and discern between the righteous and the wicked, between him that serveth God and him that serveth him not. So there's quite a lot in there. I think the first part is the most, what was concentrated on, the first few verses, where it says that who will abide the day of his coming? Who will be, he's going to be like a refiner's fire. And so what he's trying to do is say, in this day, in the last days, he will prepare the people for his coming, so that when this refiner's fire comes, they've already been able to repent and be purified. They don't just get consumed by it. That's what I get from it. And also the fact that he's suddenly come to his temple, and other prophecies. How can he come to a temple if there's no temple to come to? So there's a few things on there. And then we have chapter 4. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn even as an oven, all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly shall be stubble, and the day that cometh shall burn them up, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. But unto you that fear my name shall the Son of righteousness arise with healing in his wings, and ye shall go forth and grow up as calves in the stall, and he shall tread down the wicked, for they shall be ashes under the soles of your feet. In the day that I shall do this, saith the Lord of hosts, remember ye the law of Moses, my servant, which I commanded unto him in Horeb for all Israel with statutes and judgments. Behold, I will send you Elijah the prophet before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. And he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So the importance is that the day that this gospel will be preached, and he'll turn the hearts of the children to the fathers and the fathers to the children. If you can imagine, this is a lot for Joseph Smith to take in. So he's read those or heard Moroni quotes these. And interesting here, it says that it changes. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as let's see. And it says, instead of quoting the first verse as it is, so here we got it. For behold, the day cometh that shall burn as an oven, and all the proud, yea, all that do wickedly, shall burn as stubble. That's all the same. For they that come, now this is different. They that come shall burn them, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. Instead of saying, and the day cometh shall burn them, and the day that cometh shall burn them, saith the Lord of hosts, that it shall leave them neither root nor branch. So the difference is that it says, they that come. And again, he quoted the 5th verse thus, behold, I will reveal unto you the priesthood by the hand of Elijah the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. Not just I will send you Elijah the prophet, but I will reveal unto you the priesthood by the hand of the prophet, before the coming of the great and dreadful day of the Lord. He also quoted the next verse differently. And he shall plant in the hearts of the children the promises made to the fathers, and the hearts of the children shall turn to their fathers. If it were not so, the whole earth would be utterly wasted at his coming. And instead it says, and he shall turn the heart of the fathers to the children, and the heart of the children to their fathers. Lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. So you can see a few things there. If it were not so, the whole earth would be utterly wasted at his coming. So notice when it says here, it says, lest I come and smite the earth with a curse. Like, hey, if this doesn't happen, I'm going to kill you. Which seems a little more drastic than if it were not so, the whole earth would be utterly wasted at his coming. Saying this is if these things aren't done in preparation, then the earth wouldn't be ready, and it just would be utterly wasted, which is amazing to think about. So the changes are significant there. I don't know if that's, and I don't know if anybody has officially said anything. I don't think that is because it was translated wrong as much as it was quoted differently by Moroni to cover some of the more relevant aspects. In addition to these, he quoted the 11th chapter of Isaiah. And let's just look at that really quick. Saying that it was about to be fulfilled. So what was about to be fulfilled? Let's look at it. And you can look in 2 Nephi 21, it's there too. There shall come forth a rod out of the stem of Jesse, and a branch shall grow out of its roots. And the Spirit of the Lord shall rest upon him, and the Spirit of wisdom and understanding, and the Spirit of counsel and might, the Spirit of knowledge and fear of the Lord, and shall make him quick and of quick understanding in the fear of the Lord. And he shall not judge after the sight of his eyes, neither reprove after the hearing of his ears. But with righteousness shall he judge the poor, and reprove with equity the meek of the earth. And he shall smite the earth with the rod of his mouth, and with the breath of his lips shall he slay the wicked. And the righteous shall be the girdle of his loins, and faithfulness the girdle of his reins. So that's all about Jesus Christ and his second coming. The wolf shall dwell with the lamb, and the leopard shall lie down with the kid, and the calf and the young lion and the fatling together, and the little child shall lead them. And the cow and the bear shall feed their young ones, shall lie down together, and the lion shall eat straw like the ox. And the sucking child shall play on the hole of the asp, and the weaned child shall put his hand on the cockatrice den. They shall not hurt nor destroy in all my holy mountain, for the earth shall be full of the knowledge of the Lord, as the waters cover the sea. And in that day there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign to the people. To it shall the Gentiles seek, and his rest shall be glorious. And it shall come to pass that in that day the Lord shall set his hand again a second time to recover the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria and from Egypt and from Pathros and Cush and Elam and Shinar and Hamath and from the islands of the sea. So that was a lot. Basically, wherever they are, he'll find them. And he shall set up an ensign for the nations, and shall assemble the outcasts of Israel, and gather together the dispersed of Judah from the four corners of the earth. I think that's significant that it says ensign to the nation. You think, well, ensign is something, a banner or something that draws people in. And I can't think of any greater thing than the testament that is in the Book of Mormon to draw people in. So I think that's significant. I mean, the church itself, but also I don't think it's just that. I think an ensign, often when you think of the ensign, not the Ensign magazine, but the ensign as a symbol, it would be the temple is a greater way to look at it. And the way we're building temples today is like we're preparing for something. And last conference, after announcing many, many more temples, President Nelson made it very clear that it's because we're preparing for the second coming of the Lord. The envy also of Ephraim shall depart, and the adversaries of Judah shall be cut off, And Ephraim shall not envy Judah, and Judah shall not vex Ephraim. But they shall fly upon the shoulders of the Philistines and toward the west, and they shall spoil them of the east together, and they shall lay their hands upon Edom and Moab and the children of Ammon. And the Lord shall utterly destroy the tongue of the Egyptian sea, and his mighty wind shall shake his hand over the river, and shall smite it in the seven streams, and make men go over dry shod. And there shall be a highway for the remnant of his people, which shall be left from Assyria, like as it was to Israel in the day that he came out of the land of Egypt. So we've got here quite a few things, but he set up an ensign, and that there shall be a root of Jesse, which shall stand for an ensign unto the people. So that's not Temple or Book of Mormon as much as it is us as a people, I think. And also turning to Christ, the root of Jesse being Christ. I think it probably says that here. What is the root of Jesse? Behold, saith the Lord, it is a descendant of Jesse, as well as Joseph, unto whom rightly belongs the priesthood keys. For the gathering of the people and my people in the last day, says. Okay, whoops, we just lost our. I don't like when it does that. And we seem to have lost it completely. So I'm just going to go back to the Joseph Smith history anyway. So we've done the 11th chapter of Isaiah, 3rd chapter of Acts, 22nd and 3rd verse. I think what I'll do is I'll end it there. Well, this one shouldn't be too much because it's just 2 verses. For Moses truly said unto our fathers, a prophet the Lord shall the Lord your God raise up unto you of your brethren like unto me. Him shall ye hear all things whatsoever he shall say, and it shall come to pass that every soul which will not hear the prophet shall be destroyed from among the people. Sounds pretty dire, but we keep getting it. Okay, so what have we read? We've read Acts. We haven't read Joel. Oh no, we did read Joel, didn't we? Didn't we? No, we didn't. We've read Isaiah. What did we read? We did not read Joel, did we? And it shall come to pass that afterward that I will pour out my spirit upon all flesh, and your sons and your daughters shall prophesy, and your old men shall dream dreams, and your young men shall see visions, and also upon the servants and upon the handmaids those days will I pour out my spirit, and I will show wonders in the heavens and the earth, and blood and fire and pillars of smoke, and the sun shall be turned to darkness, and the moon into blood, before the great and terrible day of the Lord. And it shall come to pass that whosoever shall call on the name of the Lord shall be delivered. For in Mount Zion and in Jerusalem shall be deliverance, and as the Lord hath said, and in the remnant whom the Lord shall call. So there is a lot going to happen in these last days, and we're trying to prepare. I found the more I read about, and we read about these horrible things and things happening in the world, but why is the prophets always so positive? Because the whole point of these prophecies is to point to what is going to happen so these things don't happen. I mean, they will happen, but so they don't happen to as many people as will turn to the Lord. That is what I'm getting from this, is what is happening that will prevent you and those around you of having these calamities happen. And isn't it interesting, that's how the Doctrine and Covenant starts? I, the Lord, knowing the calamities that shall come upon the children of men. And then he explains why. And this is the same thing. He's being taught this by Moroni right up front. Says, these are the calamities, but what I'm going to do is I'm going to establish my covenant with you, and part of that covenant is the Book of Mormon. And so you need to go and get the Book of Mormon, and get the plates and translate. And it's so important that you need to be very specific in what you do. You don't go and just show it to anybody. You don't go and just be casual with it. He never gets a chance to be casual with it. As soon as he tries to be casual, he loses that opportunity. Maybe we'll talk about that later. But so these scriptures, I hope it wasn't hard reading today, but it's all about the Lord knowing the calamities and how he's going to prevent it if we will listen. And so I hope today you look closer to how much the Lord loves each of us and how he is trying to covenant with us all, that by turning the hearts of the children to their fathers and the fathers to their children in this last day. And I hope you have a wonderful day, and we'll see you